Welcome in, guys. Happy Monday. Had a monster week last week, ruined by a tough Sunday. First losing week of the NFL. It was bound to happen sooner than later. And week 10 of the NFL season, if that's your first down week, doing something right. So that finally cooled out on us a little bit. We'll see if we can get back on track. Still have a bet out for Monday Night Football, so can do some damage control on the week 10 numbers. Left you guys off, had a monster Friday, pretty good Saturday, ended up hurting us a bit in the back end, but still a profitable Saturday night. And crazy NFL Sunday yesterday. Week 2 of Dobbs in Minnesota looks fantastic. CJ Stroud putting themselves in MVP talks. Big win at Cincy. Niners, they get back out of a bye week. They look back to the best team in football. We saw Baltimore blow a big, nasty lead. A lot going on in NFL yesterday, John. I don't know if you had any major takeaways. Crazy NFL Sunday altogether.
My total stunk. That's my takeaway. NFL, and that's where we lost the money. It's our first losing week, as Ben said. Week 10, our first losing week in NFL. Our sides yesterday, 3 bets. Win, lose, and a push. We gave you guys Jets all week. Hope you guys went out and crushed that.
Raiders.
We bet the Jets last Monday for this for last night. We bet the Raiders plus 2.5, and that game went down to pick. Some spots went back to Jets 1. 2 terrible teams. Just gave the Jets the edge. It just gave the Raiders the edge in this one. Looking like a different team. I wrote it. I had to beat the Bookie members in my preview. The Jets have a non-existent offense, and that's just what it was. You can't just win with just defense. Got to be able to score. Anyway, that was our win. I hope you guys caught it. We gave you guys that one all week. A couple of late ones that we played. Well, one late one. We went with Tennessee. That number went all the way up to 3, where you could take 3 minus 118. Hate to lay that juice, but I just thought a field goal in that game would be worth the points. Wow, did we look great going right down the field on the first drive. Had to settle for a 3. Missed a field goal after that. Tampa Bay breaks off like a 50-yard run downhill from there. I really thought Levis would be better in his second road game, third game overall. And like I said, that first drive, beautiful first drive, not much done after that. So we'll take the L there. And then we gave you plus 3 early in the week. I don't know if we gave it to you guys, but we gave it to my How to Beat the Bookie members on the Chargers plus 3 at home. We explained it this way. The spot, and we talk about spots. And for those that don't know, this is what we mean about the spot. This is the spot. Lions were coming off a bye. Chargers are coming off Monday Night Football on the East Coast. So short week plus travel, Lions coming off a bye, and there's your spot. So terrible spot for the Chargers, but I had Chargers a better home team than the Lions were a road team, and that spot, although was a big spot, not worth a full field goal. So that was our take there. Plus 3. That game closed too. We'll take the push on that. We also caught the Carolina game on Thursday Night Football, that ugly mess. So again, for the week, 2-1, 1 onside. The totals was our downfall yesterday. We'll try to make that back up tonight. Our bet is in the total. We'll get to that in a bit. As far as the rest of football, crazy football, just games getting decided literally at the end. Field goals, Houston, Arizona. Who else wanted it to buzzer yesterday, Ben?
Yeah, I mean,
not the Giants. I know that game wasn't decided by a field. Is there anything uglier than this team going out there? And look,
brutal.
That's we get guys again. 6 winning days last week, except I guess last Monday we lose maybe some juice. We had 3 winning bets, 1 loser. One loser, all transparency, was our big bet of the day. So let's call it 5 out of 6 winning days going into Sunday. And Sunday again, like I said, just a loser with the totals. That's our first loser day. And man, did I have to hear it. And why didn't we bet Dallas Cowboys? The Giants suck. They don't have a quarterback. Why didn't we bet the Knicks? Charlotte sucks. Guys, it's I could win I'll hit 100% if I get to call the games after they're over. There's reasons. Cowboys were 17-point favorite. Just thought it was a lot of points. Yep. Just didn't see the value in the game. Hey, They did what they were supposed to do. I didn't see it. Knick game yesterday. Knicks have the Celtics today. Big look-ahead spot as far as I could see with the Knicks going today. Remember, opening night, Celtics beat them. And this is why I'll tell you right now, there's going to be our big bet tonight is the Knicks on this comeback spot. And we'll talk more about spots when we get to the basketball. But so there's reasons why we didn't bet. Why would we bet Memphis? Clippers suck with Harden. They said we didn't bet Memphis. Memphis is terrible also, if you don't know. Memphis is on their second West Coast trip in a week. They just got back from the West Coast, barely splitting a pair with Portland. There's reasons we don't bet them, and there's reasons that we do. And guys, all you got to do is read my previews. You get all the reasons why we're betting aside and what other reasons it might be or not to be to bet games. As far as that said, the NBA has not lived up to what it's supposed to be, but we do what we do every day in the NBA. We beat the number. It's gone against us in the one game we'll talk about, that Knick game today. I still love this game. If it goes any higher, I'm going to turn this into a love bet. So anyway, NFL football yesterday, down because of the totals. Our sides still a winner for the week, but the totals count. So this is our first losing week. Here we are after 10 weeks, 9-1. Still ahead a shitload of money for the NFL, so I'll take that. NBA guys, again, when you beat the number every day, yeah, we're going to be some down pot, but we're going to take over by the end of the year. We're going to be on the plus side, and then that'll start happening. And I'm thinking sooner than later. I really like this game tonight, Ben.
Yep, and college football over the weekend also treated as well. Nice little 3-0 sweep there, so that got back on track after a little bit of a down week last week. That's four.
And that's another. Let me just. I don't want to jump in on you, but another one, guys. We gave out Colorado, the Buffaloes at home against Arizona. We gave that out early in the week. It was 10 when we gave it out. It actually ticked up a little bit to 10.5. This is what we call phonies. That game closed at 8. We talk about the edge. This is the edge. I don't get involved in the college football. I don't make a bet if I don't see a real edge. And that game was a real edge game going to. I mean, look, college football. Ben's pick, Penn State, Michigan. That was a cruising game under. Get a little sweaty at the end. You never know if that guy breaks that last one. And all that could happen on any game, but that looked easy. Ben come up with UCF. I agreed with him. That was Oak State again. The spot, Oak State coming off the Oklahoma win. That was the last time that they'll meet. Oklahoma goes over to the SEC starting next year. Huge spot. Below, not even a game. I mean, that game was over. Wrap it up in the first quarter. Nope. So the spots, when we talk about spots, I know you don't see some of the spots, but that's some of the spots that we see. Let's get back to the football, Ben. Look ahead. Could there be two more look ahead games than the Browns and Ravens, Cincinnati and Houston?
Yeah, I mean, we saw that both yesterday. Like you said, it's I thought maybe there might be a Texans letdown after the big win in the prior week. CJ Stroud setting all kind of rookie records. He just followed it up, and he's just legit. He's just showing what he is as an NFL quarterback. But yeah, both Cincy losing that game. Joe Burrow throwing late game interceptions, all kinds of stuff. Short week, look ahead to the Ravens. And then the Ravens look like they should have been in cruise control, up big on Cleveland. Watson's gets banged up, should have the game in the bag, and just making crucial errors, pick six, everything else. So, probably the biggest look ahead you could have. Two teams playing on a short week, division rivals coming up Thursday night. And, both panned out, the opposing teams covered. So, those look ahead spots big, John, and we got a few more coming up this week.
Just before we get started, I just want to talk about the two biggest look aheads this Saturday in college football. They're the first games to move this morning. So again, guys, this is why we use these trends, how teams do head-to-head, what look ahead, bounce back, home revenge, that because they mean something. These aren't made-up terms. So this is what the sharp guys move the line on. We're shooting this. It's 11:48 right now, Monday morning. The Michigan-Maryland game opened at 21. That's the opening line. Game is already down to 19. Why? This is what we call a sandwich game. They just come off the win with Penn State. Who they got next? Ohio State. And you've got the whole trial and tribulations with Harbaugh. All distractions. It's an automatic bet. They might win by 42, but you're going to take 21. That's the right take. It's down to 19, which if you're how to beat the bookie member, look at Michigan's road rating, which is 51.5, Maryland's home rating, which is 32, and you get 19.5. Michigan's going to be on the road for the second straight week, so take them down to 19. That's the line, and now you put in the spot. The other one, Ohio State, Minnesota, 28.5 was the opening number. 27.5, same situation. Who does Ohio State have? Their game of the year is their next game, as it is every year against Michigan. It's a look ahead. So Michigan's got the even worse. It's a sandwich. Ohio State's got the look ahead. And those are the two big moves. Boom, first thing in the morning for Saturday football.
Yep, those look aheads prevalent there, and especially heading in down the stretch of the season. Obviously, now that Bama, Georgia are going to meet SEC championship. Once these bowl games and these conference championships start getting set up in college football, there's going to be more and more of these massive look ahead spots. We'll be keeping an eye on all of those, and obviously these division races in the NFL, which are starting to heat up.
And for college, for my How to Beat the Bookie members also, we're starting to get into the time of year for the college football. The numbers might not mean something in certain situations.
Yeah.
You're going to have teams. A certain team needs a sixth win to be bowl eligible. Let's give them a little edge. A team that's not going to make the playoffs. Teams like Oregon, one-loss teams want to impress the polls so they can get catapulted up into. They want to win, have what we call an impressive win. So the numbers may start to get a little skewed. Teams that are out of it, injuries, guys. Always remember how injuries take a big part. We put in big injuries that we know of in the ratings. Had no idea, literally just after game time kicked off 2 weeks ago, that the Syracuse quarterback wasn't going to play. This week, just at the last second, that UCLA's top two quarterbacks weren't going to play, and that's how they get upset. And this is what it's about, injuries. Information. That's information, guys. And that's the problem with college. That's my problem with college. Unless you have that pipeline for info, you can't be successful to that level.
And these are the bigger schools too. The smaller schools, nearly impossible.
No, without that, look, with that information, you can absolutely dominate. And then to a bigger effect, the college basketball. Just think of how important guys are on a day-to-day basis, knowing the guys that are in or out. We do have that information in the pros, and that's what we go with. But again, it's the spot, it's your line, and then it's the info that goes along. That's what we cover. That's what we stay on top of. And we'll give you the college games here and there when we find a nice pick. Ben is on top of it. Like I said, the Colorado game, just a standout spot. Arizona coming off three wins over three ranked opponents. Going to go up to Colorado, a total letdown spot. Colorado still needs 2 wins to be bowl eligible. That was a gettable win. This week is a gettable win. They had this week they got Wash State. I think Wash State's like a 4.5 point favorite right now in the early going. So these were winnable games. Colorado gave everything they could. I knew Coach Prime would have them ready for a home game against Arizona. Just not enough to win outright. But hey, we had +10, so that's enough for us to win.
Absolutely was. We got small Monday card, guys, across the NBA and the NFL. We can go ahead and start diving in. I'll start this Monday night football game. We have this Buffalo Bills team going with the Denver Broncos, and the Bills been sliding last few weeks, not looking so hot. We'll see if this is their get-right spot against Denver. Meanwhile, Denver kind of trending the opposite direction. They had some disastrous starts to the season, horrible blowout games. Been playing some pretty decent football, coming off a bye after beating the Chiefs. Not just beating the Chiefs, holding down Patty Mahomes and that KC offense to just 9 points, forcing 2 interceptions. Then you have Josh Allen and this Bills team coming off a tough loss against Cincinnati. Allen threw another interception, league leading 9 heading into week 10. This is a Bills team that really needs a get-right spot. A Denver defense, which went from giving up 70 to Miami to holding Patrick Mahomes to single digits. Talk about flipping script. It was a little bit of a weather game, but Denver playing much better football right now. Buffalo, some struggles would be a lean here to Denver. Question is, do the Bills get up for this game? Do they get right in this situation? And then got to be looking a little bit towards the under in this matchup. Denver's defense flipped that switch. Buffalo's been playing straight under football the last several weeks. Their offense, big part of that, haven't been getting going. Defense takes some hits, but they've been playing some lower scoring football, John.
Yep. Actually, just give me a second because we're sending a bet right now for next week. Hold on 1 second.
Nope, no worries. And that's the thing, guys. Always on top of it. If you guys want to find out what that bet is for next week, sign up howtobeatthebookie.com or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. As always sending out bets way in advance. And then the Raiders bet we had last night, we sent that out last Sunday morning or Monday morning. So that's 6-7 days out in advance. Always on top of these lines early in the week. Ironically, though, this Monday Night Football bet was sent out this morning. So sometimes it comes the day of, sometimes they come a week in advance. We get that question often about what time to expect bets, and we can't give you a time. It's when there's an edge, John.
Yeah. Hey, the lines move or the info comes in. That's when we have to bet. I get guys that say all the time, well, I live on the West Coast. I can't get up at 5 a.m. and bet. Then don't. I don't know what to tell you. But for the rest of my guys, I got to get that bet out. I sent out a bet this morning. DraftKings put their NBA up extra early today. We have a bet out at 10 o'clock. I think it might be 10 a.m. Ben can check the time for us. We already got a bet out for tomorrow. When the lines come up, when we think the time is right, that's when we get that bet out. Anyway, back to today's game. As I told you, my totals have been horrible for the last couple of weeks. So it's cost us a big chunk of money. Sides have been great. This game, I make this game 6.5 points. So no room at 7 minus 15. Would need more. Wanted to take 8 points with this game. I would have took Denver. Denver looks like a different team the last couple of weeks. Then they've had a bye. What I do like is the total in this game. Without knowing what Ben was going as he was going through the rundown, what I said in this game, Broncos are averaging 17 points per game. Their last 3 games, all 3 have gone under at an average of 32 points per game. 2 of those games were against the Chiefs, while Bills are averaging 20.2 points per game in their last 5 games. 4 of those 5 going under at 41.2 points per game. Buffalo's a different team since Paris. And the defense is beat up. But I see Denver playing a different type of game. This game, to me, it's maybe in that 24-17 range. And then that's how I feel about this game. So we went under 47.5. There's a 2-unit under bet for me. I like this one. I don't see an explosion here. Bills have not been getting that offense going. Denver's defense has been reasonable. Remember, this is the same team earlier in the year that got 70 put on them at Miami. I don't think that happens to them. Weather should be good. But for under 47.5 to me, 2-unit bet on that.
Yeah, and if you include Colts Pats, I believe it is now 14 straight primetime unders. If you include that Sunday morning game, all 3 this week, Raiders Jets last night, Panthers Bears Thursday night. Primetime unders have been as good as gold in the NFL. We'll see if that continues here later tonight. Then we got this NBA card, John. Smaller NBA card today. Had a lot of games going yesterday. And this first game, I know you've been teasing it a few times, so I'll let you knock it out here. Knicks at the Celtics. Revenge from opening night, John.
Yep, revenge from opening night. Knicks play well up in Boston. Beat them twice there last year. Both games in overtime. Knicks are back-to-back. But they're back-to-back from they had a 12 o'clock noon tip-off yesterday. They cruised against the Charlotte Hornets. It was never a game. Barrett played 31 minutes. Nobody else played more than 27 minutes. This is a short afternoon trip to Boston. This isn't like one of those get in 3 a.m, coast to coast, red eye. So this will be a different team, a different Knick team that actually, yes, it's Charlotte, but they scored the most points and they shot their best percentage against any team. They've won 3 in a row at home. They look like they're getting their act together. They weren't good opening night with the Celtics. Now, look, Celtics have looked phenomenal at home. They're just crushing teams. They beat Miami by 8, which I think they didn't cover by a half a point. Beat the Pacers by 50. Beat the Nets by 14, and then crushed the Raptors in their last game there. So they're winning their 4 home games by an average of 24 points. They look great at home. But again, not a real back-to-back, little home revenge. And who do the Celtics have next? One of their losses was at Philly. They go back to Philly Wednesday, a little quirk of the schedule to go back to a division opponent within a week like that. But they're back at Philly Wednesday for that rematch. And to me, their eyes are on that, not so much the Knicks. I took 8.5 on this game. As we went when the DraftKings came out yesterday with their line. This game right now is 9. If it was to go up another half a point, 9.5, I would press this to a 5-unit bet. That's how much I like the Knicks in this one. Celtics have looked great at home. Spot belongs to the Knicks. I took the Knicks plus 8.5 for 3 units today.
Yeah, in the first game we saw this. I mean, what the Celtics bench scored, 10 points in this matchup, and Julius Randle obviously got off to a bad start this season. RJ Barrett playing his best basketball he's ever played, averaging over 22 a game, 50% from 3. If Randle, and he's looked better, a lot better the last 3 games, can continue again, that's a true 3-headed monster. Nobody elite, but 3 guys playing really good basketball. That's kind of what the Celtics have. Yeah, Tatum, Brown, Holiday, obviously Porzingis in the mix, bit more, but the depth obviously in Knicks' favor on the bench. And yeah, good matchup, I would say, for the Knicks overall. Hence why they played them tight opening night, even with Randall's bad game and a horrible first half. And then last year, obviously, taking 3 of the 4. So see that continues on tonight. Next matchup, we have Wizards at Toronto. Wizards coming on a back-to-back after losing at Brooklyn. Then you have this Raptors team crushed at Boston on Saturday, like we just mentioned there. Toronto, 27 scoring, 7th in points allowed. Wizards, they are 29th in points allowed, giving up almost 124 a game. 2 completely different play styles. Raptors, a lot of success in the matchup. 5 of the last 6 meetings, 4-1-1 against the spread. Just hard. No interest in backing this Wizards team the way they've been playing defensively on the road. Yes, it's a lot of points here, but on a back-to-back situation against a team that's played them really well, a team that's already not playing defense, no interest here in Washington. Slightest leans to the over in this game. Toronto, a bit more under-trending team, but Washington so over-trending on a back-to-back. I expect that defense to just be even worse tonight.
Yeah, my number is 10 on this game, but that's 10 with a healthy Toronto squad, and they may not be. You got Trent missed the last game at Boston, and OG Anunoby also listed questionable. So 2 question marks for Toronto. Again, they're not deep on the wings there. So 10, but with a couple of guys questionable, that game's right there. Look, Toronto, 2-2 on the road trip. Lose at Philly. We had them in that game. Just thought that was the right spot for them, but they lose in that one. But they go on and win their next 2. They make a big comeback at San Antonio. They were buried big, win it in overtime. We have them at Dallas. They win outright. Knew the spot wasn't for them at Boston. Toronto still a good team. Got to put those pieces together. Got a new coach over there. They're still learning on the grind. They're going to be okay. This is a game that they should win. But the number's right there with 9, as I says, with the 2 question marks of Trent and Anunoby.
We had the Bulls at Milwaukee. Bulls back-to-back after beating the Pistons, team they absolutely own. Got revenge from earlier this season. They go 2-1 on the homestand, just 1-3 on the road this year. And Milwaukee in some woes right now, coming off a loss at Orlando. They had won 14 straight against the Magic. They had won 10 straight at Orlando. Prior to that, they lost to the Pacers. They had won 15 of 17 against the Pacers. Game before that, they won but barely covered against the Pistons. Game Giannis gets ejected in. They were 21-1 straight up in that matchup. They do pull out the win, did not cover. And that's the story with the Bucks this season, not covering. 7-1 against the spread. So 3 straight games against teams they absolutely own. And here's the 4th. They absolutely own the Bulls. Now, last season, the Bulls started to lighten that trend up a little bit. They did split 4 meetings last year, but still, Bucks 10-3 the last 13 meetings. Not covering numbers. Bulls on a back-to-back. Lillard missed the prior 2 games. They do get him back. Just can't lay this much points to this Milwaukee team, not covering. So Perfect get right spot. We got to see what's going on with Caruso, but Bucks getting Lillard back. Just too many points for me to lay with the team not covering numbers, John.
Yeah, definitely not. Let's see what Lillard brings them back. We thought Lillard was just sitting out after a back-to-back. He wasn't had a little problem with the calf, so he missed 2 games. This super team thing just not working out so well, is it? Yep. Look what the Clippers are going through. Look what the Suns are going through, lose again. And Milwaukee really not having success, just going from more defensive to an offensive team. So we'll see. Look, early in the season, things can evolve, but right now it just hasn't. Wouldn't want the Bucks having to win by double digits in this game, even though Chicago is back-to-back. DeRozan got it going for the Bulls last night. They put on a big fourth quarter. Caruso questionable. You like his defensive tenacity, so you'd like to have him in there. My number on this game, Milwaukee 9. And that's where the line is, so I'll be sitting this one out.
And then last game on the card, we had the Cavs at the Kings. Cavs broke the Golden State Hex this season. Get the one back earlier in Cleveland a little over a week ago. And then this year, just coming off on Saturday to beat the Warriors 118-100 in Golden State. So that's 2 straight after losing 16 against them. Then you have this Kings team beating OKC, team they absolutely own. I believe it's now 10 of the last 11 in that matchup. And that was without Fox. Huter led 28 points. Fox still doubtful for tonight. Doesn't look like he's coming back. So really tough to back this Kings team without Fox. It was worse in the front a couple of games. And the last couple, they looked a bit better. They've had success in this matchup with Cleveland. They won 7 of the last 9 meetings. Cavs, been a hard team for me to get read on. I'll be honest about that. They look good. And the next thing you know, they fall off a little bit. They're breaking trends. So slightest leans here to Sacramento, but wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland comes up with a game here, John.
Cavs 2-2 with Garland and Allen back now. And remember, those are 2 of their starting 5. So they're still a work in progress. Remember, this team played real good basketball last year. Expect them to be that same team once these guys get their stuff back together. Look like they got in tune in their last game. Defense held Warriors to 41.1% shooting, 20 turnovers, and that's what Cleveland is. They hang their hat on D. When you got a Sacramento King team without Fox, their leading scorer, good chance to keep them down to 100 or less. That's what type of game it'll be tonight. 3 is my number on the game. That's with Fox out. Again, guys, right are we looking at? We're looking at a game that's 3. So numbers right on target today. Short schedule. Figured that. My one big outtake. I know the Celtics are playing great, and they're playing really great at home. But that look ahead to Philly, put together with not a true back-to-back for the Knicks. No. Knicks playing their best ball of the season right now. Just think it's a great spot, and that's the only one I saw. The other 3 games are just solid. Unless you see an injury, unless I miss my guess, that line ain't going to move more than a half a point either way on the other 3 games.
That's our short Monday card, guys. The 4 NBA games, the 1 Monday night football game, a couple of bets already out for members, as we told you guys. And as John just showed, we have a bet already out for Sunday, a couple of them now. So, and Monday night football actually next week as well. So a lot of bets coming out early in the week for later in the week. First losing week in NFL this season. See if we can damage control with the bet on the total tonight and hopefully get back on track. Of the 6 days we had action last week, 5 of the 6 in the green, and hopefully we can carry that on to this week, John.
Yeah, let's get started with a big Monday. Lot of football. Again, watch those numbers, guys, in the college football. My ratings are great, but we're just trying to make you understand that it comes to the time of year that's other this spot. And one team needing the game, the other team not. Injuries, that's all got to do with the spot. So keep an eye on that. But other than that, go pick out a game out of the blue and make a line using my ratings, home and away, and you basically come to the number until you add some stuff in. So a lot of football, winding down the college football season, right in the middle of NFL. And again, here we are. Now it'll be week 11. We take our first losing week, but again, just with the totals, hopefully we'll get back on board with this Buffalo Denver under tonight. under 47.5. We'll catch you here tomorrow.
Yep, guys, catch you guys back tomorrow. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe below. Let's make some money.
Let's make money.